Okay, we're on the second page now. Number 6, write an equation to find the area of these shapes. Okay, remember how to find the area. It's really important that you know the formula for area. And the formula is length times width, right? So the area is going to be 3 times 5 equals 15 square units. Oh, excuse me, 15 square centimeters. Try this one. Oh, this is a tricky one. We did this one in class. This one we have to find the area of 2 separate rectangles. So this one first is a 3 by 3, right? So we're going to do this one first. Then we're going to add the area of this rectangle, which is a 3 by 4. All right, so let's figure this out here. We've got 3 times 3. Make that a little bigger. There you go. And the red one, the area is the width times the length, which is 3 times 4. Add an equal sign. And what do you come up with? Well, 3 times 3 equals 9. And 3 times 4 equals 12. So you've got 9 square units in this one, 3 times 3, and you've got 12 square units in this one, 3 times 4. All right, I better type that though. 22 what? Remember, we always have to label it. Very good. Oh, again, it's centimeters. Sorry, square centimeters. Okay, those are the area problems. Let's do some word problems. Mrs. Fairchild wanted to put a wallpaper strip around her room for next year. The long wall had a length of 6 meters. Long wall, let's make that red actually, had a length of 6 meters. And the short wall was 5 meters long. Okay, so we're talking about a room. And what is a room shaped like? That's right, a rectangle. So, what is the length of the long wall again? 6 meters. And what is the length of the short wall? 5. And I know it doesn't look exactly like 5 and 6, but you know, we'll do our best, right? The question says, how many meters of wallpaper will she need to go the entire distance around her room? What are the key words in there? How many meters? Yeah, we need to know how many meters. So we'll put that. But we still don't know how much we need. And that is right here. The entire distance around. That's the key part. So are we looking for area or perimeter? That's right, we're looking for perimeter. And we've done this before, right? We know if this length is 5, then the opposite length is 5. If we know this length is 6, we know the opposite length is 6. So what's our equation going to be? Five plus 5 plus 6 plus 6. The 6 was the red, I think. Yeah. And the 5 was the blue. Okay, so once you add all of your sides together, you should come up with an answer of 22 meters. That's how much wallpaper Mrs. Fairchild needs. All right, last problem. Miss Gangler made a quilt to hang on the wall in the Mapledale entrance. The quilt was made of 1 square foot squares. I'm going to underline that. And the length of the quilt was 6 squares across. The length was 6 squares across. What was the width? Here it is. And the width was 4 squares up. Up and down, sorry. Okay, so now we know the length of the quilt was 6 squares across, and the width was 4 squares up and down. So if I make squares, we're going to be going like this here. See how my squares look. 4 squares up and down, and 6 squares across. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, cool. And the question says, how many quilt squares did she use? Show your work. Okay. Are we finding the area or perimeter? We need to know how many squares she used to make the quilt. Yeah, we're not finding the distance around, we're finding the space inside. And what's the formula for area? 4 times 6, or length times width. So here we go. Let's write it down. I'm going to make it a little bigger and bold it. And then we're going to say 4 times 6. 6 was the red. 4 was the blue. And what is our total amount of quilt squares? That's right, it's just a fact. Learn your facts, boys and girls, and you'll do great on any area problems. Okay, the key to this whole thing for these story problems, number 1, identify the important information by underlining or highlighting. And number 2, it's always good to draw a picture. Even us teachers do that. I hope these help.